In this lecture, we are going to discuss on evolution of microprocessor. Evolution of microprocessor is based upon number of bit it could able to process as well as the clock frequency it works on and the transistors it consists as well as the futuristic advancements brought from the first generation to the fifth generation. The first generation was developed during the duration of 1971 to 1974 and it could able to process only the 4-bit as well as the 8-bit, and Intel 4004 it was developed in 1971 and it can able to process only 4-bit as well as it works under the clock frequency of 740 kilohertz. It consists of 2300 transistor and it was considered as the first microprocessor with the integrated CPU on a chip, as well as it was designed for calculator and it could able to perform only fewer arithmetic operations, but it processes only very little power consumption. Intel 8008 it was developed in 1972 and it could able to process 8-bit and it works under the clock frequency of 200 kilohertz with a 3500 transistor, and it could able to perform little bit complex tasks comparing to the fewer version of processor, and it is used in early terminals as well as basic computing devices. Next version is Intel 8080 and it was developed in 1974 and it could able to process uh, 8-bit as well as it works under 2 megahertz of clock frequency with 6000 transistors, and it is one of the 8-bit popular microprocessor and it was used in early personal computing. The second generation was developed in the mid of 1970. It could able to process 8-bit and 16-bit. Intel 8085 it was developed during 1976. It was the first processor with the enhanced 8-bit CPU which works under the clock frequency of 3 MHz with 6500 transistors, and it is compatible with 8080 with enhanced instruction set, and also it possesses improved performance with simplified power supply. Next one is Intel 8086. It was developed during 1978 and it could able to process 16-bit and it works under the clock frequency of 5 MHz with 29,000 transistors, and it was the first 86 architecture which is still in use today, as well as it was formed as a basis of IBM PC architecture and also as a PC revolution. Motorola 68000 it was developed in 1979 and it also has 16 as well as 32-bit processor which works under 8 megahertz with 68,000 plus transistors, and it had the enhanced features such as 32-bit registers with 24-bit address bus with enhanced memory addressing capability of 16 MB, and it is used in early Macs as well as Amiga computers. The third generation it was developed during the duration of 1980s and it could able to process 16-bit as well as the 32-bit. Intel 80286 it was developed during the duration of 1982 and it could able to process 16-bit, and also it has the clock frequency up to 12.5 megahertz with 1,34,000 transistors. It was introduced with a protected mode for better multitasking, and it was providing the more robustness to the operating systems. Intel 80386 it was developed during 1985. It could able to process 32-bit with the clock frequency of 40 megahertz, and it consists of 275,000 transistors in it with the quality of supported virtual memory, multitasking and advanced computing, and it enabled the advanced OSs like Windows NT and modern versions of Unix. Motorola 8020. It was developed during 1984, and it could able to process 32-bit with improved architecture. And in this version, they have introduced instruction pipelining option in it, and it was especially developed for advanced workstations and servers. The fourth generation, which was developed during 1990s, it could able to process 32-bit as well as 64-bit microprocessors was introduced. The first version was Intel Pentium series. It was developed from 1993 onwards. It introduced 32-bit superscalar architecture with the clock speed starts working at 60 megahertz itself, and with the enhanced floating point performance. Next version is AMD Alton and Intel Pentium 2 as well as 3, and this version was the high performance processor especially developed for desktops in order for high efficiency. Next one is introduction of 64-bit processors. The first processor was DEC Alpha 1992. It was one of the first 64-bit RISC processor, and AMD Opteron. It was introduced in 2003. It was the next 64-bit which works under 86 compatible CPU, and this was the first AMD 64 architecture. The fifth generation processors, which was developed from 2000s, and it is available still in the market, and it is the multi-core processors and beyond. The multi-core processors, it consists of dual core, quad core and many core CPUs. It become a standard option to improve parallelism. And next series is Intel Core series, which was available from 2006 onwards, and it holds the property of Core 2 Duo, Core i7 and i9, and it is the modern architecture with integrated memory controllers with enhanced caching and hyper-threading options. And next one is AMD Ryzen. It was developed in 2017, and it is the competitive multi-core performance and efficiency revived AMD's market position. Next one is ARM processor, and these processors are dominant in mobile, tablets, embedded system due to its power efficiency and switching speeds. Examples, it is used in Apple M1, M2 chips, custom ARM-based SoCs with high performance and energy efficiency. Next is heterogeneous computing, and it is the integration of CPU with GPU and AI accelerators embedded on SoCs. So these are all the evolution of microprocessors happened right from first generation to the fifth generations, and the futuristic advancements brought from the first generation processor to the fifth generation processors. And these are all references of the evolution of microprocessors. Thank you.